The market isn't a puzzle to solve, it's a mirror that shows you who you really are. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've just finished the series on how to accomplish mastery. So if you haven't watched that, I definitely recommend that before you actually jump into this video. It's kind of a continuation, but it's not really related to that. It's actually linked to another problem, another issue that traders tend to face and never really realize. It's a problem, a thing that we tend to chase, and we don't realize its connections to our poor results in trading. Let's dig in. Most traders are working hard, but in the wrong direction. They grind hours researching high win rate strategies. They go from course to course, mentor to mentor. They try to find the one setup that will finally give them consistency. Because that's how we've always succeeded in life. We work harder, find the right formula, follow the rules, and get the reward. That mindset built their career. It helped them excel in school, made them reliable, analytical, and smart. But in trading, that approach is also the trap. It's essentially why you're looking for the wrong kind of hard work in trading. This is not a series, guys. This is not a series, guys. This is not a series, guys. It is just a single video where I wanted to highlight on a problem, a way of thought, a way of thinking and approaching trading that does not work, and I've noticed it is not working for me. Have you ever been sitting at home trading, or maybe sitting in your office trading, looking at the markets, and it's kind of nearing the end of the day and you haven't taken any single trade, and you start to feel, damn, did I just lose a whole day's worth of work? That's the thinking. That is the thought. That is the initial thought that leads you to the next step. Let me just execute something. Let me do something so that I can feel productive. Because it's how we are trained. It's how we think. It's how we approach life. And it's how we have succeeded in other industries and try to apply the same in trading. It's the myth of the perfect. Before we jump in, let me walk you through. It's how we succeed in everything else and we assume it will work in trading. Let me take a step back and break this down before I actually dive deep into the weeds of trying to figure out whether hard work is bad. Start with the myth of the perfect strategy. We all chase it at some point. Traders think a well-defined strategy that covers all situations and bases is what they all need to succeed. They think if I can just find a strategy that tells me when to enter, cut losses, and ride profits, I'll be golden. So they chase more filters, more confirmations, more rules. This is a bad trap. It's a cycle that drains one's motivation in trading and makes them fall trapped to the gurus selling a fully mechanical or other phrases used to market such strategies. I've been a victim and a perpetrator, I believe, before, of trying to present a strategy as fully mechanical, not needing any level of thought. However, this results in one building a strategy or a box that is too rigid to breathe in, and then they blow up. They start over and repeat. What they don't realize is it's not about finding the right box. It's about realizing you are the edge. It's a comfortable thing. It's the comfort of complexity. It's the real situations that lead to improvement in trading. They often feel too simple. The solutions like quantity or journaling don't feel like real work. When you come to me and ask me, what do I do to succeed? And I tell you, oh, do more chart time. You'll start to say, no, you're lying. It seems too simple. You want me to give a complex set of 30-page PDFs or 100 pages of a PDF or a book that will spell out the different techniques and strategies that you need to implement for you to succeed. Actually, very smart people fall for this because this stuff feels too simple, and simple doesn't feel like real work. So we make it harder. We say to ourselves, trading should be hard. There must be more to it, more than I'm mentioning. I'm hiding something. I'm trying to present myself differently so that I can sell it to you in the future. It can't just be about repetition, right? They don't trust simplicity because they haven't stuck with it long enough to experience what lies on the other side. We want the warm embrace of hard work. We want it to feel right. We say no pain, no gain. I want to work hard, spend countless hours on studying a specific strategy, studying that specific candle that waves at you before it moves in one direction. We forget that the real fight is with yourself. The market doesn't care about your strategy. It doesn't reward your hours that you spend tweaking indicators, evaluating news and other factors, despite it feeling like it should reward this. Believe me, it feels like that. I have developed a lot, close to now 50 something strategies, which I have written in code. Being a developer, it was easier for me before to find a specific strategy, code it out, run it, and such. At some point, I started feeling like I should be rewarded for this. It needs to feel rewarding. Like you start feeling that because you've spent a lot of time on it, so it starts to feel like you should be rewarded. However, the market doesn't care. Your results and the market reflects you, your patience, your fear, and your desire for control. And sadly, that's the hardest part. It's the battle to see how much of your false beliefs you're willing to let go. It's not a battle against the market, it's a battle to see how much you're willing to give up, how much of you're willing to put aside for you to succeed, how much of your greed, how much of your fear, how much of your hopes and your dreams and your life and everything you're willing to give up for you to see the market as it is, not as you are, as the market is. It's like riding down a river, the river which is the market. Most traders try to build a dam, and that's why I'm saying stop building dams. They try to build something that holds the market still for long enough for them to exploit it. They try to draw boxes, lines, and chart and stuff on markets, just saying that it will live within this boundary that I'm setting. We set all these rules for us to frame the market. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that we are building the wrong system, the wrong approach. The market isn't a machine, it's a river. It's chaotic, strong, and could be disastrous when flooded. When it's flooding, it has a lot of volatility, it's disastrous. Yet, the way it flows can be observed and used to power societies, just like rivers. One just needs to learn to sense the turns, the bends, the twists that a river gives. We need to determine when we are gripping too tight and when we need to let go or when we need to tighten our grip. When you're flowing down a river, actually, when I was young, I had an experience where I was swept away by a river. I ended up being saved by my uncle, but that feeling is kind of similar to this. You essentially start flowing, and you need to realize when you need to stop fighting and when you need to latch, to stretch out your arms and hold on to a branch. You need to figure out when to do it. It's difficult when you're actually in a trade and it's flowing away from you, but once you do learn how to do it, that's when the beauty comes in. These ebbs and flows of the market cannot be taught on a PDF. The only way to learn is by jumping in and reading the flow. It's learned through exposure. It's learned through being in the river long enough to trust the current, to know when the current is just right to take you downhill, or to take you in a specific corner where there's a branch that you can hold on to, where you can exit your trade. Of course, when you're just coming off from my previous series on quantity, this might feel like repetition, but quantity is the answer. It doesn't mean being reckless, it means building muscle. The hard work isn't discovering the best system. It's it is in staying present through hundreds of imperfect ones until you know yourself well enough to trade context, but with clarity. This, unfortunately, is not beautiful, it's not attractive, and can't be sold on a beach or in a Lambo. I can't sit in a Lambo and tell you, oh, guys, you need to start working and trading and executing. No, it's not beautiful. It can't be sold. It can't be sold as a secret on how to make the market obedient, because the market is not obedient. People want rules to protect them from the chaos that the market can be, but the real edge is in knowing when to follow and when to break these rules. That knowledge only comes rep after rep. People want drawings. They want their drawings, their rectangles, their lines, their order blocks, their fair value gaps, their moving averages to mean something. They want them to hold. But the real edge isn't in these rules, as I mentioned. It's in knowing when to follow them and when to break them. This knowledge only comes by executing. And it can't be figured out by thinking harder. You can't figure it out by staying in your mind. You will need to show up and figure it out live in the markets. Trading doesn't need to feel complex to be working. We tend to lie to ourselves since that is what we experience in the real world. You need to work hard. Things need to feel hard. But trading when you're starting out actually feels pretty easy. I've met people and I've met beginners who say that when they were starting out, when they didn't know anything about trading, that's when they made the most money. Because it was easy. They were not focused on the perfect candles, the trend, what the weekly is doing, yet they're trading the minute. They were not focused on trying to find a 1:40 trade. They were focused and happy to just be present. They were happy to just execute and come out with something. And that happiness, that fleeting moment where you feel happiness of executing a trade and coming out with something and learning more about yourselves and the market. That's what most of us lose when we start diving deep into different strategies. But my point is not to release that moment. You need to continue with that exploration, that curiosity, that feeling of happiness while you explore different markets, different charts, different volatility measures in the market, different conditions, different contexts. You need to let go of the feeling that the market and trading needs to be difficult. Simplicity isn't laziness, it's clarity earned through volume. We need to let go of needing to be right and do what is needed. We need to trade more, observe more, reflect more. And these aspects build your edge. They improve you since you are the edge. They either force you to abandon, reconstruct, or get new beliefs constantly. If you have a belief that is no free money, in real life, that you believe there's nothing like free money, you will be less likely to take very easy to trades. The market is trending in one direction, and you say, I'll wait for a retracement. You're adding additional complexity not required. You see the river flowing in one direction, but you need to add a bit more. You need to add some level of complexity to make it feel earned. You need to add your own spice so that you can feel that the results you're getting are earned, or rather is earned. And that's the problem. You essentially stop following the market but start to add your own spice to the market. You see it being bullish and you say, maybe it's gone high enough. You want to make it seem hard. And then you start shorting a bullish market, or you start buying a bearish market. Why? Because you are adding additional complexity. You want it to feel hard. You want your earnings to feel earned. You're asking yourself, I saw people selling. There's no point in joining them to sell. Let me wait for them to retrace and I'll get a better price. The market isn't a shop where you're going to buy something when it's cheap and buying when it's expensive. You need to be joining people when they are buying and joining them when they are selling. You don't need to find a specific thing that you add to the market. You just need to follow what the market is doing and staying present. And as you can see in these moments, you need to stop seeing the market as you are. You need to start seeing it as it is. If the market is bullish, it's bullish. Stop adding your spice to it. Stop trying to make it difficult for you so that you can feel worthy of the earnings that you get or the rewards that you're getting from the market. Because once your intuition catches up, that's when the magic starts. That's when things start working out for you. It's not when you work hard, it's when your intuition actually catches up with the market. When you stop adding your little spices, your secret sauce that you think will make you successful. When you stop adding all these elements and you just focus on what the market is actually doing. When you become one with the market, when your intuition is along what the market is doing, that's when things start ticking. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. However, I'd like to ask, do you believe that you are the edge, or do you believe that you are the strategy? Or do you believe that you are the edge, or do you believe in your strategy, win rate, risk management, approach, etc.? What do you actually believe in when you're trading? Do you think that you need to work hard at the market, or have you learned to accept that you might spend 5 minutes and end up a millionaire, and you might spend 3 months, 2 days waiting for the same setup and end up losing? What do you actually believe in? Where is your mind at in as far as hard work in trading is concerned? Do you actually believe that whatever is needed to succeed is actually simple? You just need to be present. Or do you believe you need to work hard to find different setups? Do you need to work hard to study different strategies and integrate them? Or do you need to figure out how the market presents itself to you and follow it? I know this is counterintuitive, and these are actually my beliefs at the moment. Maybe in the future something might change, but so far these are my findings. I'm presenting them to you as I find them. If you agree, please comment down below. If you don't, actually comment down below. Maybe you are at a further step than we are at, and we need to learn what you're currently thinking. Otherwise, I created this channel, I'd like to call it a forum, as a way of presenting my ideas and what I'm figuring out, and showcasing my learnings and also listening to what other people have discovered and learned through the process. And of course, in the future, I'll be posting more chat time videos, trades, and backtests that I'm currently working on and things that I'm working on. But for now, I just wanted to focus on psychology and things that I'm thinking about in as far as the market is concerned and trading is concerned. If you like this video and you like this format, comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't, I'm curious to know why. I'd like to know your thoughts. So still comment down below. Otherwise, thank you so much for being with me throughout this journey and watching my content. I'm trying to get better on a daily basis, and thank you for being there with me as I'm trying to do that. Otherwise, thank you for being here. Keep executing, and I wish you the best of luck in your trading endeavors. And remember, the small, consistent steps are the ones that compound to give you the success that you're looking for. Cheers.